So recently I again posted on one of the Facebook groups that I'd like to review a bike in exchange for a free video the owner can use on their social media. I unfortunately didn't get what I wanted, and what I wanted is some new bikes, but it is what it is. This time it was the owner of CFmoto CLX 700 Sport who messaged me. Yes, it's not the newest bike on the market, but I believe people deserve a review that will help them to make their choice regardless of how new or old the motorcycle is. And that's basically the goal of this channel. And if you are new here, well, my name is Jamil, I'm not a mechanic, engineer, or I don't have a garage where I built Harley from scratch. I'm just a simple mortal who reviews motorcycles and tries to list all the positives, negatives, and neutrals that I observed, experienced, or heard from the owners of the bikes that I'm reviewing. And all of this to help you to make your choice. And hey, you are absolutely free to choose what is the real positive and what is the real negative for you and the way you plan to use this bike. By the way, reviewing this bike will be way easier for me because back in 2023 I actually owned this bike for about 3 months and as always had to sell it because I was moving from the country. But even with that short period, I can say or confirm a lot of what the owner told me. And as per tradition of this channel, I'll start with the negatives. And the first one to point out is the gear indicator errors. Not all the time, but sometimes the dash shows the wrong gear or flicker between the numbers. Quite annoying error, especially for the beginners, because it's hard to remember which gear you were on, or feel the bike trying to shift up or down. Actually, it's not annoying only because there are some numbers flickering on the dash, but it's also affecting the ride itself. Well, maybe being more precise, not during the ride, but when you want to actually start it. It happened to me a couple of times as well when I owned this bike, and it happened again while I was filming the owner trying to go for the ride. The bike would simply not allow him to move because of that error. The owner said that this issue appeared not immediately after getting this bike, but after quite some time of using it. From what I found on the internet, you can go to the dealership where they can entirely replace the gear position sensor and it will resolve this negative. Probably that's the case, and maybe this will not happen on the unit that you're trying to buy, but having one exact negative on two exactly identical bikes, well, at least for me, that's pretty deservable first place negative for this bike. The second negative I would probably give to the handlebar. I think this type is called clip-ons. Whatever it is, the pointing down situation will make your body to lean slightly forward, which will push your body weight in your elbows, which basically makes you hold a semi-plank position. You probably won't feel it after your first and even 10th ride, but for someone like me, back when I owned this bike, or for the owner of this bike, who are not just weekend riders, but use this machine for a daily drive, it becomes quite uncomfortable. I think after 2 or 3 weeks I had to warm up before hopping on this bike and cool down after the ride by doing some basic exercises to relieve some pain from my elbows. So maybe you are a weekend type of rider, and in that case I'd say you can skip this negative, as it will probably won't affect your 15 minutes ride to the closest coffee shop. What will affect you with the same handlebar, regardless of what type of rider you are, is the handlebar smashing your thumb if you will turn it to its maximum, to the left or right. I mean, even if you try to do it without gloves, your finger will basically get smashed between the tank and the handlebar. And now imagine having gloves on you as well. Quite desirable negative, and I'd say designers, engineers, or whoever missed this negative deserve an F-, because I don't think we deserve our thumbs to be smashed like this. Next negative is what I wanted initially to include to the neutral section for you to decide, but then I realized that if the feature is there and it's bad, then having it as a negative instead of neutral makes more sense. That negative is the passenger seat, if you can call it a seat. I mean, surely CFmoto was trying to build a cool looking bike, kind of a new cafe racer type of machine, and I believe they achieved that. But how bad you have to hate your passenger to make the seat on the tiny cushion surrounded by the plastic, all of which makes the passenger feel like they are not even supposed to be the passenger on this bike. But no, they supposed to, because there are food bags for the passenger. I mean, will this bike help you to get attention from someone you met in the coffee shop you are frequently riding to? I'd probably say yes. But don't be surprised to see that someone on the back of a comfortable seat of some cruiser type of motorcycle just after 5 minutes of riding as the passenger on this tiny, teeny aisle that CFmoto called a passenger seat. Fifth negative is related to the look of this bike, and something that I will return to in the positive section, but not for this specific detail. Fake carbon. Like, come on guys in CFmoto. You made a beautiful looking machine with dope colors, but then probably some Lisa, who is also wife of head of design department in CFmoto, on that design brainstorming meeting pushed the idea to slap some fake carbon around this bike. Let me tell you this, Lisa, it's not cool. Fake carbon did not add to the look of this bike. It only downgraded the look of this machine that could have been much better with the simple black matte paint or whatever else that is not trying to look like something that it's not. Last negative, which will also be connected to the look and something that I pointed out in some other previous reviews, is the piece of jar. Well, it's actually brake oil reservoir, but if you are planning to give your piece for some tests in the hospital, then you can easily bring this thing, and I don't think nurses or doctors will notice anything wrong, because it will look like any other piece jar they use on the daily basis. Maybe it's Lisa again with her ideas on that brainstorming meeting, and if yes, then probably she never saw those reservoirs on other bikes where they are nicely hidden in the black boxes like that, and the cutout for you to see the level and the color. Alright, that's it with the negative section, and if you think there are no more negative stuff to say about this motorcycle, then wait until you hear everything from the neutral section. Because this is the one where it's totally up to you, where you want to include everything you will hear in this section. First one, which for a while I like to put in the neutral section of other bikes I reviewed, is the sound of the exhaust pipe. For me, it sounds pretty good for the size and look of this bike. For others, it may not. So here's the sound for you to choose whether it's a negative or a positive for your taste. What do you think? Tank size is the next neutral, because although some people say it's small, I believe it all depends on the way you're trying to use this machine. And honestly, I think certain liters for a compact motorcycle like this is pretty good. I believe as the weekend type of rider, it should not bother you at all. Actually, it never bothered me as someone who would use this bike for a daily rides, though in my country we have gas stations every 5 kilometers or less. So it all depends where you live and how annoyed you are getting from filling up your gas tank. Again, in the neutral section for a reason, so for you to choose. The weight of this bike is another neutral, because I'm not sure if for you it's something that you would take to a positive or a negative. But with the full tank, the weight becomes 205 kilos, 451 lbs for my American friends, which is quite impressive for a small looking bike like this. Yes, it's small, but it's also a solid machine with a solid weight into it. Regardless where you will put this neutral, just don't assume you can easily take it with you upstairs to your room just because it looks petite. Price is the one that I always prefer to keep here, because for some around 5,000 to 7,000 USD for a brand new bike, depending where you are, may be super cheap, and for others, even look of this bike will not justify the price they're asking. You can also scout the internet for the used ones, which will drop the price somewhere between 2,500 to 4,000 USD, but in any case, it would be nice to hear your thoughts about the price in the comment section. Last neutral is related to functionality of the specific feature, and it's the Eco and Sport modes, available with the click of the switch on the left hand side of the handlebar. I mean, there are some channels who did the review of this bike and this feature specifically, going into the details of the fuel consumption, speed and so on. But for a mortal like me and someone who is not full-time MotoGP racer, engineer or mechanic, the difference is barely noticeable. Yes, you will notice the difference first 5 or maybe 10 rides on this bike when switching between Eco and Sport modes, but later on, the more you use it, the feeling that anything changes from it simply goes away. But that was my personal experience, so for you it might be different, and that's why you found it in the neutral section. Now, if for some reason you are still here, it means that you either turned this video while taking a shower and now your hands are too wet to turn it off, or you're really interested in this bike. And if it's the second option, I believe you will enjoy that part, because we are moving to the positive section of CFmoto CLX 700 Sport. And there is no way I can skip the look of this bike as the first positive. Despite what Lisa and her idea did with the fake carbon, I believe CFmoto achieved the goal of making something unusual. Something that will make both motorcycle and non-motorcycle people turn their head or leave them wondering of what kind of machine is this. The color, although limited to 2 options, is quite nice in my opinion. You get the Velocity Grey, which you saw throughout this video, and the Nebula White, which also looks nice. I also like all these small details, like these vents that I assume also helps to cool down the engine. Then this logo on the driver's seat, which obviously has no functionality, but still looks better than some sticker or nothing at all. I mean, for the type of this bike and for its size, I believe it's a good looking machine that can make some people forgive some of the negatives from the previous section. Next one that I would put as a positive is the brake of this bike. What I can say is that it has ABS system, the one I wish I had on my second bike during the rain to avoid what you can see now, and dual disc brakes from Brembo company, which is a well-known Italian company, and by well-known I mean they have a good reputation, and you will find the same company brakes on the bikes that I'm pretty sure you heard before, like Ducati, Aprilia, KTM, Triumph, Yamaha R1, Kawasaki H2R, and so on. But with that being said, I trust only real experience coming from real-world situations. And luckily, both the owner of this bike and myself, when I was riding it back in 2023, we can both agree that the brakes are doing its job and saved us from many situations where some other bikes would have probably failed. I mean, with the max speed of this bike, which I will say shortly, I think brakes are pretty well matched. Speaking of the speed, I'd prefer to have it as the positive, although I know that some of the motorcycle channels call it meh kind of speed, but approximately 112 miles per hour or 180 kilometers per hour, in my opinion, is pretty good for the size and weight of this bike. I mean, I never felt uncomfortable using the very left lane when using the highways, so at least for me, it's a good indicator that the speed of this bike can be something positive I can say about. Obviously, riding a bike, at least for me, it's not only about the speed, but also maneuverability in tight situations like heavy traffic, for example. And it's quite easy for me to put CLX Sport to the positive section when it comes to moving through heavy traffic. As I said before, the bike is pretty heavy, but it's also pretty compact. Not long, not wide, just perfect for avoiding heavy traffic if that's what you're looking for. I know I mentioned the system thing related to shifting as the first negative, but if putting that aside, I would honestly compliment the simple analog dash. Well, because of its simplicity. I mean, a lot of Chinese manufacturers, including CFmoto, are quite guilty in some cases on putting fancy digital screens with almost the same functionality as the analog screen here. And that's why I like the dash on the CLX. Pretty simple, shows everything you need, quite visible during sunny days, and does not scream that it's something else. Cruise control is the next positive I would quickly mention, because if you're one of those freaks who plans to ride this bike for long distance trips, then this functionality is what you will definitely appreciate. Actually, not that far from the cruise control is another positive, which is something rare these days. Self-canceling turn signals. Yeah, that's actually a thing, and for those of you who got stuck on the older motorcycles, it actually works pretty good. And I would say it can be pretty hard to get used to the manual ones if you decide to change your bike. But if talking specifically about this bike and this feature, then definitely a positive. And finally, the last positive is going to be the key situation, and probably for you, for someone who never had a bike or someone who never had a bike with the weird key situation, this is the positive that you will not quite understand. But let me explain. Either because of laziness or some other unknown for me reason, the engineers of recently released motorcycles are separating the ignition lock from the lock of the front wheel, sometimes even putting them on the opposite sides of the motorcycle. Super confusing and quite annoying when you start the bike and realize that you forgot to unlock the front wheel. So you have to turn off the bike, take the key out, put it into separate lock, unlock it, and then again start the bike by returning the key to the ignition lock. Well, luckily for you, that curse did not affect this Chinese bike, and you have the ignition lock and the front wheel lock in the same exact location. So for me, that's definitely a positive. And that's all the positives, neutrals and negatives I managed to observe, experience and find for you, which hopefully will help you to make your decision. I won't beg you for likes and subscribe to my channel, but I won't complain either if you decide to do so, especially knowing that I'm not sponsored and do these videos to help random strangers on the internet. Thank you and see you somewhere else.